Hi everyone, so tonight I'm going to talk about the 4 planes of development. So in a lot of my videos before I've mentioned that Maria Montessori observed children from all around the world and noticed that there were similar characteristics at particular age groups. So I just wanted to share with you the framework that she created, and it's called the planes of development, or the constructive rhythm of life, which has a lovely ring to it. Now I'm trained in the 6 to 12 stage of development, so I will talk mostly about the characteristics that she saw in those children. But just quickly, you can see that she saw development happening in these 6-year cycles. So she had 0 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 18, and 18 to 24. 0 to 6 and 12 to 18, times of immense physical growth and development, quite turbulent times, as you kind of colored them in red. And then with the 6 to 12 age group and the 18 to 24, there's a much more kind of calmer, more stable times of development. There's less change going on. So I get to work in the 6 to 12 one. And it's kind of, if you think of these lines, like these first 3 years are acquiring the skills or the characteristics and then refining them when she goes into the next stage. Obviously she did not say that when you turn 6 you're automatically in the next one, and there is crossover and every child is different obviously. But this is just the framework, and it informs how she designed the materials, it informs how she designed, I guess, information being delivered. So it's a really kind of guides all the work we do, these characteristics that she saw in each age group. So I work with the 6 to 12 age group, and I was lucky enough to attend a workshop recently by Rebecca Dallum. She was amazing, and it was about storytelling. We talked a lot about what we call the second plane child, which you might hear and go, what? Now I'm going to tell you what that means. So that's the 6 to 12-year-old child, and these are some of the psychological characteristics that Maria Montessori saw in these children. So I'll give you this information to give you a bit more background about why everything is designed the way it is in Montessori. So the first kind of characteristics you saw of the 6 to 12 child was that they had immense physical stamina. They had great strength. They loved, big work. So, for example, a car got stuck in the mud the other day and all the kids wanted to push it out. Or, we get a big heavy courier delivery. Everyone wants to lift it. People want to work outside and dig big holes, and bury the bokashi bin, and they're capable of long walks. This is a time when they do lots of sports, so it's a really physically strong time. Also, it's a time of what she called kind of great work. These 6 to 12 children love big work. When you work in math with them, they always want the biggest number to work with. It doesn't matter if they can't find the answer, they want to work with the biggest number. And so these are why our materials, enable us to do big numbers with these kind of concrete materials. They always have the biggest questions, the big whys of the world, and they love working on huge projects together, so they love great work. Another characteristic is that this age group is starting to separate away from the family slowly as well. And so you will notice that these children start to organise play dates. They start to be really interested in their social groups and how to work with others. They go on camp. So they maybe have their first overnight stay. So there's that separation from the family, also known sometimes as the child of the foot. They want to explore. It's also a huge group instinct in the 6 to 12 age group. Often, there might be one child, really interested in the piano, and then all of a sudden, the whole class is interested in the piano. It's kind of pack instinct. They love working in huge groups, and they're really interested in what each other are doing. It's also a time that where they collect things as groups as well, or they form clubs, or scouts and all that kind of stuff as this age group. And like the moment Star Wars cards at my school, and in my day it was stickers, I don't know, it might have been marbles. So that really group instinct to this age group, and that's why we do lots of project work, and we do do lessons in groups, so they get to work together. It's also a time when they're developing their intellect and the reasoning mind. They're developing the ability to abstract their thoughts. They don't need everything so concrete anymore, which is why materials start to move towards abstraction. They have a really active imagination, and that's why we do a lot of storytelling to really appeal to that. Although the 6 to 12 age group is a really stable period of development, there's not a lot of physical change. their minds are just so hungry for information, and there's so many questions, and as a teacher my greatest challenge is keeping up with them all. But it's also what I love about the 6 to 12 age group, is that their capacity for understanding and information and learning new things is just huge. And I love taking the ceiling off education of this age group, and you know, helping them to achieve things that they're up here, and sometimes I don't even know if we can achieve them, but we normally do. And also they're really into developing a strong sense of responsibility at this age. So all the children have jobs to do before lunch, and there's a head chef who has to do the dishes, there's a secretary who restocks the supply shelf, there's a librarian who keeps the library tidy. This is their classroom, this is their community. They have that sense of responsibility. And we have class meetings, and they bring up issues that are not working in their community, and they vote on solutions, and we trial them. And sometimes as a teacher we can see they're probably going to fail, but we let that happen and they learn. So they're really starting to want to be responsible for things. They're also really strong characteristic as they're developing morality, and that they have a huge sense of justice and fairness. This is the child that will be telling on each other. So-and-so did this and so-and-so did this, and it's not fair. And they're just, they're so black and white. There's right and wrong, and they're really interested in the grey areas. They're like, how come this person can do this then, and this person can do this now, and he can but she can't? And so there's a lot of conflict resolution in the 6 to 12 year age group. A lot of talking things through and understanding each other's opinions, and talking about those grey areas, because they're really drawn to them. They're really drawn to it being fair all the time. Hence class meeting is a great place to talk. So the last kind of thing that is quite common is they have a hero worship. This is the age group where they'll love superheroes. They might have a favourite book character or a favourite cartoon character. And so our job as Montessori educators is we bring in a lot of figures from history. We take them out into the community to see some great role models. We bring some into the classroom. We try and appeal to that hero worship in a healthy way. So yeah, that's just a really kind of quick overview of what Montessori saw the psychological characteristics of the 6 to 12 child, and those kind of guide our work. And we always ask ourselves, are we meeting these needs? Are we providing an environment that meets these characteristics? So hopefully you recognised a few, and maybe your own children or children you work with.